Welcome back, everybody, to That Range Life, a show sometimes about golf, episode 78 in all of our hearts. Kris, how are you, bud?
Good. It's good to be back.
Good to be back.
Hot and humid Illinois, where I was in a very hot and very humid Arizona.
Yeah, I love that. So as we've talked about, Kris was in Arizona, and I want to say it was around day one. I sent him. First thing I see on social media is just like raging floods.
Floods going through
Flagstaff. I'm like, if I'm not mistaken, he's near Flagstaff. And by near, I mean right in it. And I'm like, is this going to impact you guys? And here's the best part. You're like, nah, we're going to call the course. I think we're going to miss all of it. And then sure enough, you posted something, I think, where it's just pouring balls.
It was. Yeah. So that was our Friday. Yeah. So it's monsoon season out in Arizona. And so in the valley where my parents live in Surprise, it wasn't as bad. And that video was taken the night before we headed up north to Flag. And it was fun. Like we got out on the course. It was cart path only, which kind of sucked. But we got out on Friday the next day. Like they didn't get hit. So it's like,
right.
For those of you that haven't been to Arizona during monsoon season when it rains, it's really like the rain is in very specific spots. Like it can be literally, 2 blocks away from you and you can watch it pass through, but it never gets you. It's like very, very, targeted rain. It's like
old school. It's like in Karate Kid when he's the shower curtain. It's like just watching the shower go across.
Yeah, that's totally how it looks. And like, so at my parents' house, we could see it up in the mountains. Like you can see it like, oh man, it's coming down. And then the washes come through after the fact because they live out kind of in the country, in the desert. Mm-hmm. So we got up the next day. It was fine. We didn't get hit any rain. And then, Flagstaff, where we were, it's higher than Denver. It's 7,000 feet up. Mm-hmm. So we were on the 5th hole on Friday and a lightning strike. I mean, it was right above our heads because you're up there, you're closer to that stuff. And so we were watching, as we were playing, we're like, oh, here comes the rain. It's coming our way. But then, the lightning hit and we're like, okay, that's good. And so we started heading back. We met up with another foursome. We were just hanging out under like a, protective sort of roof,
a lightning shelter,
whatever. Yeah. And then that video that you saw, it just in an instant, it hit us and we're like, okay, we got to get back. So we actually followed the cart girl back because she knew the shortest route from where we were. So we got back in, we were soaked. And then I posted that video of just the water going right over the gutters, right over the gutters. Not even, it was like a joke, but the next day, credit to the course, man. That thing drains. We were back out on Saturday morning.
It's all rocks and sand. It better drain.
Right. And we were back out on Saturday, still cart path only. But then Sunday, 90-degree rule, we could get out and go. So overall, it was a successful golf tournament. I did not win the trophy again. I'm now 0 for 3, but I did go undefeated in match play for the weekend against the little brother, which is always a bonus. But next year I think we're going to move it into June, try to get away from the rain because we've gotten hit every year because we do it in July because it's cheap, to go and stay at houses and play golf courses and stuff like that, really nice golf courses. We're going to move it to June and maybe, since it'll be a little cooler, head down to Scottsdale because some of the houses you can rent in Scottsdale are insane. Mm-hmm. Absolutely, just ridiculously like 9-hole putting courses, full basketball court kind of craziness. So,
in Scottsdale, Arizona, in that general area too, maybe you run into a house that you can rent out that's no longer being used that might have, I don't know, some sort of backyard hockey rink or something. Because someone out in that area is no longer in need of it because they're moving back to Sweden, I assume.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the retirement of a Blackhawk favorite, finished his career with the Arizona Coyotes, retirement of Nicholas Hjalmarsson, number 4.
Yeah. I put on the notes here. Word is he just blocked another shot because that dude blocked more shots in his career as a hockey player in general than I think anyone I've ever seen.
I just assumed like you guys were missing putts left and right because all of a sudden this like thin, spry, balding Swede was just coming out of nowhere and blocking the golf ball.
Yeah. And another thing about Hjalmarsson too, probably, I don't know that the Hawks win as many trophies as they did. Again, this is a hockey show breaking out. This is the Sometimes About Golf show. But
let's be honest, hockey's more important to both of us than golf is. So sorry.
Well, definitely for you as a former player. I'm just a guy that grew up loving the Blackhawks, but more than the Bulls, quite honestly, during that run. But anyways, Hjalmarsson that guy was just, I think he was just
don't think they have
the Hawks during that run.
When we talked about like, the top four during those years, and Hossa is the one that doesn't get enough credit, but like he also does. He definitely has this, I think, this label. They don't win any of those cups without Hjalmarsson, in my opinion. And I don't know. This is like you had to play the game to know. Ooh, I'll be that guy. But it's like he was the type of guy where you see it now with a lot of the star-studded. Edmonton's a great example. These star-studded teams where they're not going to have their superstars on every night. Nicholas Hjalmarsson was on 95% of the nights. And so when he is your 3, 4, even 5 defenseman, obviously I think he went everywhere from the number 1 defenseman through, depending on who was playing what when.
Right, what combos,
You could always rely on him to come through and fall back on him, and he would be there steady Eddie, consistent, and I think really went a long way in shoring up the back end of the ice for the Blackhawks. So I don't know, man. I feel like I made cracks about how Duncan Keith was coughing pucks up at blue lines and taking too many chances. Hjalmarsson was there, breaking his rib cage and shattering bones in his feet to make up for it. So I don't know. I loved him. He was probably top 3 favorite player, and admittedly I'm biased because my greatest hockey successes came as a defenseman, and I was a stay at home, keep the puck out of my net guy, a shot blocker, if you will. So I could relate to that. I got the label of I'm the only person the goalie would allow to block shots, otherwise get out of his way so he can see him.
Really?
It's like, unless you're Bill, I don't want you blocking shots. Bill can try to block anything he wants, and it gets by him and goes by me. Fine, we missed one.
Right.
Not a big deal. Thanks, Robbie.
Yeah.
I was a big Hjalmarsson fan. Fan.
I don't know how you couldn't be. He was really quiet for the most part. Like I think Twitter, hockey Twitter, was talking about, or at least Blackhawks Twitter was talking about, like, will he do a last shift? Because the Blackhawks like to do this thing where they bring back guys for one more shift. Just ceremonially, if he would actually do that, because he didn't. That's not really his style.
Well, and they're like, he won't even announce his retirement. He won't.
He'll just go back to Sweden. Be like, all right, that's enough. I'm good.
Yeah. And another defenseman news, I thought I was going to be more excited about this as I kept hearing all the hoopla about the Blackhawks getting Seth Jones. But let's just say I'm very not excited about anything Blackhawks related at the moment.
It's kind of tough. It's fair.
And I don't know what will bring me back. Let's just say that, depending on how things shake out. But they got Seth Jones. And there was a lot of talk they would get Seth Jones for a pretty good deal. And now that it happened, a lot of people are like, this isn't a very good deal. They lost Boquist on defense.
Yeah.
Picked up Seth Jones.
Seth Jones is a better defenseman, though. I mean,
for how much longer is a question. And
I know there is some talk about he's peaked. I get it. Yeah.
And then I'll be honest, there's so much weird math and conditioning taking place and the pick swapping.
Yeah.
Like if this happens, it turns into this pick in 2023. And I'm like, I don't know. But the more I'm seeing happen, I'm like, I don't know if the Blackhawks have any idea what they're doing other than throwing some big contracts around for these guys.
Yeah. There's some that think that maybe Stan Bowman paid a little too much, but I do think if we are still Blackhawks fans when the season starts, I think we're gonna like. I don't think he's peaked. I think he had an anomaly year last year. I think the new, there's something to be said about new surroundings and that whole thing to invigorate him. But I think we're gonna like what we see out of.
I hope the new number 4,
the new number 1. Yeah, that's right. The new number 4. He's the number 1 defenseman on this team now. Straight up, he's their best defenseman.
Which I don't know if that's a great. I don't know. I might be. I don't know. I don't know if Seth Jones is a number 1, but we'll find out.
It doesn't matter if he is or not. He's the Blackhawks number 1.
Yeah.
You're going to put him with Connor Murphy, right?
God, he's too high up the depth chart now too.
See, I think Connor Murphy is kind of underappreciated. I think Connor Murphy's I mean, I get it. Blackhawks traded Hjalmarsson for Murphy, which I think clouds some of the judgment of the fans, but I think he's okay. I think he's pretty
He would have
good.
been like a Brent Sopel in 2010. You know what I mean?
I think he's better.
Now, to be fair, that was an insanely good defensive 6 back then.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just think like, oh boy, I mean, maybe it's just being spoiled by who we've had on defense for so long.
Yeah,
and because again, I'm on the team.
I know. I try to avoid that, but the Blackhawks have it's the one team I struggle with that.
Yeah,
because I don't personally. You can do it if you want. Anyone can. If you want to say we or us and whatever, you can. I'm not going to hold
our own
against
standards.
You.
Yeah, we're not.
Yeah.
But I just everybody live your life.
Right. I tried to personally separate myself from the team. That's just me.
So enough hockey talk.
Anyways, right.
We talked about you going to Arizona. A lot of Arizona. This is the Arizona episode.
Right.
Shout out Victor Afable being on last week.
For sure.
Covering. I'm excited to check out the new Badass Shafts. Badass BADDAZZ. Of course, so
that was a good episode. I enjoyed that episode myself because
it was a real golf episode, wasn't it?
It was very golfy, but just to get some insight on the shaft world, the shaft industry, and some kind of maybe a little sneak peek of some things that he's got in development, which are really exciting too, because he makes great stuff, and maybe he's going to start making great stuff for things that don't have an iron or driver at the end of it, which is
correct.
Yeah.
And little thing for you, he is a camera fiend. Like, so sees some new big expensive camera, like
really?
In video too. And he's like, well, now I need that. It's like, oh, I know somebody like that. Like, for instance, he sent me this one video the day after he was making for Callaway. And he's just talking about like the production of it.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, is that a green screen behind you? Cause thinking, I'm like, man, that like layering was really good. It wasn't bad quality. And he's like, no, it's just, that's how sharp this camera is. And it's one of those.
Is he using like an A7 III or something? It's probably got a Sony.
I think it was a Sony. It didn't say what model number to me, but one of the ones that like always stays focused because they follow your eyes, not just like the object.
Right. It's super bokeh. It's like a whole thing. Yeah. Those, I bet you it was probably man, next time you miss a show, I'm going to have a Fable on. We're going to talk cameras.
To go to your plug section, when you get off vacation, you should get him on Origin Story.
That's true too. That needs to happen too. For sure.
And the thing is about it, like, I love that guy to death. He's always been good to me. He doesn't quite. He's not stuffy by any means on the shows, but like, people still aren't getting the like let the hair down version of him when he does this. The guy's a trip.
Of course. We know a couple of guys like that. Honestly,
hey, just a couple, two tree.
Yeah.
So let's go back to the Arizona trip.
Okay.
Is there anything else we need to cover there in terms of you already said you didn't win again? So let me guess. A lot of people. Well, no, you said you went undefeated in your matches. So
I did.
I was gonna say, who did you piss off with your stellar putting performance?
I putted really, really well. As a matter of fact,
It was a lot better.
So here's a funny thing, and I think a lot of people, I know you can probably relate to this.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of us need stakes in our rounds of golf. So I've never played better this year than I did up in Flag playing match. It's a match play, 2-on-2 scramble.
I go to Arizona and I just call it flag.
That's what it's called. It's called Flag.
Not Flag
2 G's.
staff.
Can you hear the 2 G's?
Oh, it's not Flagstaff. It is flag.
No. It's Flagstaff.
Oh, okay.
It's
okay,
Flagstaff.
bro. Then I'll keep talking like this.
I'm just. Anyways, it was a really fun course too. Really, really liked the course. Of course, the guy running the place is amazing because he lets 36 of us crazies on there. And it's a neighborhood kind of club. They've got a pool and they've got pickleball courts, and then here come 36 dudes. Just
I would go so far as to say, knowing you and what I hear of your friends, 36 idiots.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
but
right.
we know we're idiots, and so we compensate by we compensate by tipping out hard.
Okay.
Like we tip hard when we go out there, and we just get, and that makes it all better. But anyways, so the reason the course was fun, we're 7,000 feet in the air, so that means your ball is going to carry forever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is a blast. 2, combine that with from the tips. It's an older course, so from the tips it was about 6,100 yards.
Oh, okay.
Which means when you're playing a match play scramble like we were, your partner can put one out in the fairway and then you can go for it, right? So there were some par 4s where I had the opportunity to really get after it, and it was a blast. But yeah, to your point, my putting rebounded well. It showed up for the weekend. And I'm not gonna mince words here. I think it probably won us our matches both days. Be quite honest.
I mean, it's great. You didn't win the trophy though, so
it's true. And it's funny because our trophy is a homemade. I think
what
trophy.
I'm saying is you should have won a little harder because it would.
And
the win would have counted for more.
The past 3 years now we've had this. We've done it 4 years. The past 3 years. It has come down to the final round coming in to the clubhouse, which is an absolute blast. So you've got 32 guys, sitting at the clubhouse waiting to get a signal from one of those 2 teams coming in. It's just so much fun.
And one of them, and a good chunk of those people are probably a little toasty. So
all of us,
right
at that point. I mean, we go off. My group always goes off first.
I was just trying to be modest about it for being tasteful, but yeah, right.
Yeah. But what were we talking about? So the trophy, it's a homemade trophy. Like we had a couple guys that are very, very handy. They have access to tools and material and things.
And we know a guy who participates in this that makes custom homemade golf ball clocks. So.
Exactly. Which Kris, you should be getting yours by Wednesday, I believe, as of this recording. Anyways. So they made the trophy. They built the trophy. It's gorgeous. It's amazing. I love it. Everybody loves it. You get your name engraved every year. So every team that wins it, you get your name engraved, and we're going to go around it. Sound something familiar? It sounds very Stanley Cup-ish, right?
To be fair, that is a common theme amongst sports trophies. So you're not blowing anyone's mind with that. We understand.
That's fair. But I also have never touched it. I have never touched it, and I never will until it belongs to me.
But it's tough because as a commissioner, I feel like the curse doesn't count anymore. Because it might be logistics you have to be responsible for.
No, because we have. So I'm the commissioner, but we have captains of both teams, and the captains are the ones that handle the trophy.
Hey, unrelated. What's really nice about the pandemic and taking the precautions we did, not getting sick. I'm on like day 5-ish of a cold, like a full blown cold, because went through my house, did the COVID testing, everything. Yeah. Just cold. This sucks. And it's not even that bad of a cold, but like I forgot how brutal, just basic. And, here, ready? Oh, woe is me. Given my other current health issue, and the like brain fog.
Yeah.
Having your sinuses all jacked up on top of that with a sore throat. It's not like a strep sore though. It's not that bad. It's just coughing irritation.
You got a nice baritone to you. You got a nice baritone to you right now.
I mean, I do venture upstairs and just belt out the hits.
You got a little better. You got a little better, scratch in you.
I was trying to watch Bruce Springsteen's Storytellers and sing along, but he's playing like all the lame songs. It was a Storytellers fan from back in the day. The Bruce Springsteen one, I want to say it's roughly like 2009. I love The Boss, man. I love The Boss.
For sure.
It was terrible. I really did not enjoy it.
For those that don't know, VH1 used to have a television show. It was very MTV Unplugged-ish, except they told stories about each song before they would play the song. Thus, the name Storytellers.
Do you know Death Cab? Because our guy Ben Gibbard, who we talk about frequently on the show,
sure.
Death Cab had a good Storytellers, and then they moved it to Palladia or MTV.
Yeah, they moved it away. Yeah,
and some of them were good. Kings of Leon had a really good one.
Really, really good Storytellers. Now I'm going to have to go back and watch that.
Mm-hmm. Right. That's what ends up happening. But so it wasn't great.
I gotta go back and watch the Bruce Springsteen one. I don't remember it being terrible, but
maybe I don't know. I mean, it's all things considered, it was fine, but it wasn't fine.
Not one of the better. You would expect more out of.
Well, and he's like telling the stories during while he sing
that,
3 lines and then tell part more of the story, and it's and he never really, because he's telling the story, would just sort of talk the 3 lines.
Right.
It was weird. Do you know who else I want to say did a Storytellers? Jack Antonoff, Bleachers. I think he did one for Bleachers.
Really?
Or he did an unplugged.
He did an unplugged. Might have been
sure. Yeah, it was an unplugged, awesome. And it was Storytellers. Yeah, it's very good.
Awesome unplugged.
This was in our notes to talk about.
Actually, yeah. If you're going to listen to any modern day, I know MTV gets a bad rap because they don't show music anymore, whatever. But they did do an unplugged with Bleachers at what was it, Stone Pony in Jersey, and it's so
speaking
good.
Of the Boss,
so good. Yeah, he's got some really good special guests. He's got Lorde shows up and does a duet with him. And then who's my girl who does Call Me Maybe? She shows up.
Carly Rae
Jepsen, yeah. And she shows up and shows off her pipes. Great unplugged.
Sometimes about golf. Close out Arizona. I was texting, actually. I got text during the show here from the Riv. And he tells me, he's asking me questions about wedges and my thoughts and stuff, and then finally putting the pieces together, he told me he won something and was getting a wedge.
That's how I was going to close this section out. I just want to say thank you to the guys over at Sub 70, designer of that bucket hat there. They donated some gift cards to the trip, and it's awesome. Of course, Riv won one and my dad won one. Because we do also have whole prizes and stuff like that. So I really, really, I cannot say how much I appreciate their support for this silly little tournament we put out. And I gotta say
always, too, those guys are the best.
They are the best. And they sent out some hats and T-shirts, some Chicago, their Chicago themed sort of wear. And we've got, that the trip is made up of a bunch of Chicago transplants that live in Arizona, and people were just in love with the stuff. They absolutely loved it.
Special shout out Ryan Armour, who's doing the apparel thing.
Yeah.
Going back as we have with Sub 70, our guys have always been Jason Hyland and Jay Armour, Ryan's brother.
Yeah.
And I know you got to know Ryan via doing the apparel video and what have you.
Right.
Only recently got introduced to Ryan via a what's the right word to say here? Not let too much out of the bag. A potential project involving a bunch of people.
Yeah.
And I love that guy. Ryan's the best.
He's awesome. Yeah. We got to do something with those guys. I haven't seen those guys in forever.
I still want to do the Sycamore Speedway. And I don't know if it's running Sub 70 TRL outing. And if we made content, great. If not,
whatever.
Just cause trouble at the Sycamore Speedway with other people. If your wives want to come, bring your wives. If they don't, bring your kids. Ryan's got older kids, bring them.
Yeah. If it's just us, we can crash at Jason's house. He's already said that we can sleep on his floor.
Be careful what you wish for. I keep telling him. I've told him that before, and he's like, "Yeah, next time your family goes out to Wisconsin, come play Kish and crash at our place."
Yeah, man.
It's like, I won't leave for 3 days, Highland, and I'm bringing Kris with me. We are gonna cuddle on the couch at night to keep warm. It's gonna be awkward, and your wife's gonna be like, "What is happening here?" And he's like, "The problem is," and he's like, "You think my wife's not used to that with my friends?" I'm like, "Oh, good point."
That's fair. It's fair. But yeah, I miss those dudes. We got to go and spend some time one way or the other, golf or otherwise, with all those guys.
Agree. Real quick before I talk about more kind of like transition sub 70, well, you were in Arizona. I got into a good run of like rebuilding childhood Legos again.
Okay.
I spent $30 on Lego pieces on eBay.
Individual pieces?
Yeah. Where like you can get like, hey, I need this one green antenna, right?
Right.
Well,
I didn't even know there was a market for that. I don't know why I didn't.
One of them, it's like $6, or I can pay like $8 to get 8 of them.
Right.
I'm like, well, I might break one, lose one, whatever. I'm like, fine, okay, fine.
What are you building? Is it like the old school stuff? Like it's just like police station and helicopter landing pad.
No, I'm done with those. You know that, and that's why you're saying them, because I've sent you the pictures of those ones.
No, but like there's like the old school ones, like the super old school ones, where it wasn't like, now everything is branded. Everything is, Harry Potter or Star Wars.
Licensed ones. Yeah, right, and I do have some of the originally licensed like 1999 Star Wars stuff, but I haven't gotten into that.
No, I'm talking before that, man. I'm talking 80s.
I built, so my Lego era is like 88, 89 to 97. So
okay.
I have, I did buy this. Hang on, check this out. This was at the little like Lego resale store, and it's original from like mid 80s.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there, man. That's
sick
right there for sure.
It's $25.
That's worth every dime.
I sent a picture of it to Highland when I was done with it, and he's like, "Yep, that's my era." And like he has all this era, and his kids work on them. I'm like, if you ever need to get rid of those, but
you haven't even seen my collection that I still have.
Well, you have kids and stuff, so I know it's not going. I would love your Lego collection so much.
And it's got I've kept all the old, just the picture. I kept like some of the stuff I have the old school, like, manuals, like building manuals.
Yeah.
But otherwise I just held on to the picture because I can look at the picture and be like, oh, I remember how to build this. But it's from, I don't
quite have that, but
it's from early to mid 80s. All that stuff. I got little dude. I don't even know if you were old enough to remember though. You remember little pink like wrestle guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've got some of those mixed in. You know how stuff would get mixed in?
That's my favorite. When I'm going through that, I'm like, oh, this is a broken piece of a Hot Wheel, or yeah.
I got that stuff still in like my big, huge bin of.
This
Legos.
is a gun to a very specific GI Joe, and I know exactly which one it is.
Right.
Hell, that's how I ended up with this purchase. The Leonardo Samurai Ninja Turtle. I found like the flag. And I go, oh, I remember that Ninja Turtle, and I bought the rest of them on eBay.
Right.
Then I found mine in another bin. When I think in one of these shows I talked about my friend who I gave all my toys to when he had kids, and he was like, "Hey, my kids grew out of it. Here's your toys back." And I found my original one, so I got 2 of these. But
yeah, I'm sure there's like a He-Man sword floating around in the mix. That kind of stuff.
I actually had the toy. I had those from
the toy because I had the whole castle. The whole thing. Yeah, man.
I got that from, like I said, when I was a little kid from an older neighbor's garage sale. All of his He-Man toys. And he's like, he was pretty big dollar, but I got to see the garage sale before they opened the doors. And
friends and family, soft opening of the garage sale.
I'm like 5, and they're like, tell you what, probably gave me like $200 in He-Man, all the castles, and all these characters for like $20.
Yeah.
It's the best.
It's a good
person. Yeah, listen, if you ever hit a point where you're like, Bill, I know you and Liam need to work on these old Legos, you know where to find me. So yeah, I spent $30. I'm working on the one I'm working on right now that got me going on this was the Lego Spirius. It's a like mid 90s space set droid. Okay. And then I have a couple Lego M-Tron sets, which are like 1990. A couple of those.
Okay.
So $30 on miscellaneous Lego pieces.
Did you ever get the ones with like maybe that's what these are. I don't know. I don't remember the name, but like you had the holes in the Legos,
Technic?
Is that what it was? It wasn't Technic though.
It's
It was
different.
something different, but yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. All I know is my parents gave Liam a Lego Technic set that was like 8+, and he's 5. And I can just hear him in the kitchen, like pieces flying everywhere. Like, oh my God.
Yeah, they're really They had the little tiny pegs that would go like one hole to one hole, and like those. Yeah.
It's a new era. It's a new way of thinking. Anyway, so $30 on Lego. I love Legos. We were talking about Ryan and his kids being old and coming along, and this was a weird experience. So Liam is, like I said, is 5, and he's not quite there yet. And Liam's he's just a little different in general. So I'll be curious when he hits this. But I mean, talking to him now, like if you were to come over, he would be so happy to have like an old man sitting on the dock fishing conversation, or like at the coffee shop. Right. He's just such an old soul.
I got one of those kids for sure.
And I was playing in this golf outing as we could talk about it if we want, but with my wife's family, and her one cousin has a son who's like 6, 7-ish, so a little older than Liam, but still young.
Okay.
And he can play golf, so he played all 18 holes, and
oh wow,
like was still playing well by the 18th hole.
That's awesome.
And it's telling my wife is so weird and enjoyable at the end. I mean, obviously you kind of have to. People aren't filtering themselves too much around him. Like, hey, you're bringing him around the boys,
right? You're gonna hear some stuff.
But I'm also like, for me, it's like, I have a 5-year-old son, and no.
Right.
But it was so weird sitting around the table at the end, and him sitting there and like popping in with stories from the day, making jokes.
Yeah. Did you? Is your battery dying?
No.
Do I leave this in here? Do I leave?
Oh yeah, I did. Hang on.
I was gonna say I see the battery flashing.
That's user error. I forgot to put the right battery in.
I guess it's just my show now, ladies and gentlemen. As you watch, I could edit this where you can't really see the black screen at all. I don't even know how you fix this, because at this point, Bill's got to swap out batteries. I can hear him bouncing around in there. Hold on, I'm gonna.
Shout out to my battery making it that long.
Yeah, that was impressive. You're back now. Congratulations, you made it back.
Unbelievable.
It's
one thing when you're like, Nikon versus Canon, and then it's another thing where it's like, just set up your gear right, you idiot. Oh yeah.
So what'd you have? Like, you had a normal battery in there?
Yeah, it's
impressive.
We're back. So yeah,
the 7-year-old at the table sharing stories from the day.
Yeah, and you're like, wow, this is so fun. And then of course I'm like, all right, Liam, come on, we got to get you up to speed in golf. So we can be boys, and you can come do this with my friends. Like, let me force my wishes upon you, child.
Right. He'll come around. I mean, it's a good segue. You're a very professional co-host, because as some of you know, I have a son who is 19 years old, much older than Liam.
Yep.
Never had any interest whatsoever in playing golf. Last year during the pandemic, my oldest daughter, my old soul, the one that would sit on a bench and tell stories at 5 years old to older humans and have a conversation. It was her idea. She said, why don't we all go play golf for Father's Day, since we can't really do anything else? So we all went out, and then that's where he sort of got a little bit of feeling for like, oh, this could be pretty cool. He and I have since gone out 2 or 3 other times. We played the short course. We played a short par 3 course.
I still want to go play with you guys. Like,
yeah, it's
I
cool,
want
man.
the invite.
We need to do the under the lights short course.
Yeah, for sure. We do have to do
that. Because he and I want to go do that too. But anyways, so we went out again on Sunday after I got back. Just him and me. 6 p.m. tee time. Got out, went to our favorite golf course, Bartlett Hills Golf Club. And, no one's out there, so he can hit a couple shots here and there, whatever. Got to use this I have it right here. My brand new, I'll open this up. Golf Logic's green book. And they just sent me over this is actually, I'm pretty impressed. So like, it's a green book, whatever. I'm not a big green books guy. I own 2 of them.
Trust me, I know.
Yeah. Right. Although I do love it. I do love the thing. But then they sent me this over there to supplement the green book. And now I just feel I'm even more insufferable, out there with my 19-year-old son who's playing his third 9, his 27th hole. And I'm like, wait, Bobby, I got to look at this green here real quick to see what's going on. And he has no idea. But I do.
He's like
going to
he's going to slash your tires just right in front of your face.
I am super into this thing. I'm super into it. And it's kind of like, I'm thinking next year for the golf tournament, actually, I really want to slow down our rounds as much as possible. And actually, that's not true because you can actually read this while you're playing. But I think this would be a good kind of, gift for everybody to get, whatever course we're playing, because we play it 3 or 4 times to get them the green reading book and maybe the case to go with it. Because they can personalize the cases too, I believe. So you can actually get
cover. It's a cover. It's not a case.
Cover.
It's a cover.
Whatever. Okay, fine. Anyways, so yeah, I got out and used that a little bit, which is fun. And then, the boy, I have a feeling he's going to be rounding out a foursome of ours pretty soon. He's probably got another season to go, but he's caught it. He's caught the old man.
Wait till he's 21 too. So, then he'll definitely the golf will become a little less important, if you know what I mean.
Well, one of his goals is to actually be ready to go at 21 so he can join the golf trip, because you can't not be 21.
Oh, and he can get that. And he can get the cost covered. What a genius.
It's true. That's true. I didn't think about it either, but yeah. So yeah, he's working his way to be ready for the golf tournament and whatever it is, 2023.
Nice.
Must be ready to go. Yeah. It's pretty exciting. It's exciting for me too, because I thought that ship had kind of sailed for my kids, but maybe not so much.
Maybe.
So there's still time.
Yeah. I gotta get to that golf trip at some point. Don't know when.
Oh my God, dude. I would love it so much.
I have this
vision.
Me
so happy to have you out there.
Where I
wouldn't mind having, if next year, I don't want them staying at the house, but a few viewers, maybe if they want to join us just for the golf, I would even enjoy that. But you would obviously stay at the house. We would share a room, probably a bed.
Right.
And it would be wonderful.
It'll be fantastic.
Absolutely wonderful.
And I also have this vision where I don't play. I just host an MC.
Right. I could also see that too.
Whatever golf outing hosted by Bill Bush.
100%. I could see that.
Not put on, just the host. Just the host.
You just carry around a mic the whole time.
It's one of those old Casio 80s mic boombox things. I just drive around in a cart.
Right.
Hey everybody, real quick on the tee here. Yeah, that's just what everybody wants. One last thing I think before I wrap up, I want to tell you about.
All right.
You, when I just came back from the hospital, you and your lovely wife, Zell, sent me a delightful flower arrangement. And it came in a very nice, large mason jar thing. Since the flowers have moved on, if you will, still have the jar, and we use it maybe tomatoes will be in it this week or whatever, right? Oranges,
that's awesome.
Right?
Yeah. It's that big, huh? You can put fruit in there.
Sizable. And I'm going to send you pictures for the story that you need to drop in as we're talking about it here.
Okay.
But, the vintage range hero, Justin Thompson, just text messaged me. I can't wait to see. And there's pictures. That means he's found something. Can't wait. So, Kris, I'm sitting in my basement working today, and I get a text message from my wife. And as you know, we have a sizable children's inflatable pool. And
Correct.
My dream is one day that we'll host a show or two from it, because I think it'll be funny. And we let the water out of it, but there's always the last little 3 inches that you just have to drag out of it. And she sends me a picture. She's like, we have a new visitor. And I'm like, huh? And I look, and I blow the picture up to look at it. there's a frog. I'm like, is that a frog or a toad? It's like,
really?
It's a frog. And so sure enough, I drop everything, I go out and look. There's a frog swimming around in that like bottom 5 inches of water or whatever.
Right.
And I'm like, well, what are we gonna do? And so she made it spot low, so like it could get out if it wanted, but I don't know if it was confused. It was a smaller frog. And that water, it's not hot like a hot tub, but it's warm from sitting in the sun when it's been boiling here. But it would like go under folds to get out of the sun, you know, but I'm like, who knows? I'm sure it can find its way, but I don't live by bodies of water. I don't know how it got there, and it obviously could get away, but like it's going to get eaten. It could something could happen to it.
Yeah. So
we took the jar, put a little water in it, and put the frog in that to bring him to a nearby, him or her, to a nearby lake and set it free around there and rescue this frog.
Oh, I love it.
So the jar saw new use today, rescuing an amphibious
The jar's living
frog.
a good life, I feel like. the jar is seeing some stuff and doing some things and, saving lives.
I wanted to load it up with golf balls and put it back here, but then this would get knocked out and that can't happen.
Right.
Maybe one day I have visions of redoing the set of my stew.
Oh, wow.
But
soon you're going to need a second spot so we can do the show, together in the studio.
Yeah, it would be pretty funny if we did it. Just crammed in here and did it. All right. This has been a show sometimes about golf this week, so let's wrap it up. GOS, Golf Origin Story, still on vacation.
I'm still on break.
Wait a minute. Maybe we do keep talking for a little bit. On driverangeheroes.com this week, we have the Strixon ZX4 irons, Wednesday's review. I believe we talked about those on this show, yeah?
I think we did, yeah.
But young Thomas O'Connell reviewed those.
Okay.
But then on Monday, popped out a post, a little more, I don't know what kind of post. It wasn't a review, it was informational, but shouting out the True Linkswear Dead Golfer, limited edition Dead Golfer shoes. And I got them right over here, both pairs. They are sick. They're like one of them is my favorite shoe I've ever seen from them.
Can't wait to get my feet in them.
What people may not know. Oh, and check this out. This hat, the Dead Golfer hat.
God, look at that logo. That is such a dope.
So I want
logo.
I want to set some. So I talk about that and really. So it's limited edition, by the way. Actually, I think this hat sold out. Can't get it. And I don't know if all the shoes are sold out, but they are selling fast, I'm told. And you should go check out the post. Look how sick they are. Go order your pair. You won't regret it. The pair I have for Kris, the Luxe Knits waterproof. They have become not this specific pair, but I have different colors of the Luxe Knit. Become my preferred all-weather shoe. Love them to death. Super comfortable, like you'd expect from True Linkswear.
They make a cameo in a video coming up as well.
Yes, they do.
They do.
Talk about that. You'll see that next week.
The best video I've ever made.
So good. Go over to driverangeheroes.com. Check them out. I think you should want to buy them. Do it quick. They're limited. I want to clear up one thing though. This logo, the Dead Golfer logo. So once they post this, all the golf bro internet stands, right? Like, oh, Eric Anders Lane, random golf club. You're just copying them, blah, blah. True Linkswear originally released the Dead Golfer logo like this, 2017.
I was going to say, what are they talking about?
Yeah. We just want to clear that up. 2017, everybody.
Get over yourselves.
Who wore it first? And who cares?
Yeah, also, same.
One last cough before we close the show. All right, Kris. That's Kris McEwen. This is his YouTube page. Do us a favor. We didn't talk about the top of the show. Too much important info at that time. Go down here, subscribe, hit the bell so you get notified, especially for the video we have coming up. That's a good fun. And leave a comment, give us a thumbs up, do the usual stuff. Okay.
Yeah. Let's talk in the comments about some things.
And I'm Bill Bush, driverangeheroes.com, at Range Heroes on all the social media. Please go follow me there. I need that help too. This has been the At Range Life, a show sometimes about golf, episode 78. We'll see you next week.